Steve Collins is my guest here now for this fight. Willie Quinn, the super middleweight. Let's have a look at this chap, Steve. And just a bit of the background on Quinn first. A nervous losing debut in 1991, but since then he's done plenty of things right. And here he is in action earlier this year. He's now twice stopped Marvin O'Brien. What do you know about him, Steve? You've kept an eye on him, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been watching Willie his progress steady through the super middleweight division, and you know, in a year's time I hope to move up to the super middleweight division, and of course I do class him as a future possible opponent, so I am watching him closely.
Big heavy puncher, do you think?
He's not a one knockout puncher, but he's a big strong man, and he hits hard and he accumulates punishment on his opponent as the fight wears on. And I mean, he wouldn't get this kind of following if he wasn't something special.
This was him against Spencer Alton.
Well, he showed some punching power in that fight, so you cannot underestimate his punching power.
We just expect him soon to be looking to make a step up in class, Steve.
Yeah, the super middleweight division is a very exciting division, and guys like Willie Quinn, there's another super middleweight coming up too in the ratings, Mark Delaney, who's also undefeated. And for these two guys to get together now would be a cracking fight, you know.
Yes, you're right, that would be very interesting.
Maybe it could be on the cards in the future. It would be an eliminator or a title fight, definitely.
The other thing about Quinn is that he sells tickets, and his supporters have been here in droves, as you may have heard during the evening. Now it's their big moment. Let's get down to ringside once more, and it'll be Dave McCauley and first Ian Dark.
Yes, thank you, Paul. This crowd have been reviving the old Manfred Mann hit Mighty Quinn, and you're going to get a few more verses of it in a moment when Quinn makes his entry. Let's check a few details for you. Seamus Casey is 12 years older at 34 than Quinn, the young prospect. About the same height, Quinn a bit taller, and the weight, Casey about 3 1/4 pounds the heavier for this contest tonight. Super middleweight is the division, the same one as Chris Eubank, Nigel Benn, Henry Wharton, Ray Close and all. MC is Alan Hughes, of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome into the ring for this super middleweight contest from Alfreton, Seamus Casey.
Well, here is Seamus Casey. Now, his record is not the most promising, to put it mildly. In fact, if he loses this tonight, we reckon, we've been checking through the books, that in the modern era in British boxing, no one will have lost as many fights. 96 already. That's the same as Winston Burnett lost. And he'll go to 97 if he loses this one. The form book suggests he will. 26 wins on that record. He's had 127 fights in 10 years. Worked for 10 years on the coalface in Derbyshire at the Annesley Colliery, and he's currently doing 12-hour night shifts. A real character, a real journeyman, a fellow who once fought with a broken ankle, would you believe? Incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you now welcome into the ring from Scotland, Willie the Mighty Quinn.
Well, here's the local hero, 22-year-old Willie Quinn. Listen to the reception he gets. Well, I kid you not, he could have sold the whole place out on his own. He comes from a little town called Tranent and wears the local tartan, Tranent tartan. That's what those shorts are wearing. Ah, that's his opponent, Seamus Casey. And Quinn here looking to extend a record that reads 11 wins and 1 defeat. He's a good-looking boy, very marketable, could go a long way.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a super middleweight contest, a 12 stone over 8 2-minute rounds. Introducing in the red corner with those navy shorts, a man who's had 127 contests from Alfreton, Seamus Casey. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the blue corner, the Tranent tartan shorts, with an impressive record, 11 wins from 12 contests, 6 inside the distance, from Scotland, Willie the Mighty Quinn! Ladies and gentlemen, the weigh-in today, Seamus Casey scaled 11-13, Willie Quinn 11 stone 9 and 3/4 pounds. Your referee for the contest is Billy Rafferty and your timekeeper Jim Russell. 8 2-minute round.
Well, that was an entrance to almost rival Chris Eubank, wasn't it, Dave?
He's got a real big following, this guy, Quinn, a real big following. There's one thing he does do, he certainly sells tickets and he gets a crowd going. That creates a great atmosphere in the hall.
Promoters are going to love him. Tommy Gilmore is his promoter. And, well, if he's good enough, the opportunities have certainly come his way, being as marketable as he is. In the tartan trunks, the Tranent tartan, the local boy Willie Quinn, up against the often beaten veteran Seamus Casey.
I've seen Quinn fighting a few times, and he impressed me. For a guy kicking off in the professional ranks, he looks as if he has what it takes to go the whole way to the top. This guy here will certainly test him.
Well, if he does graduate with honours, I don't think any of the big boys would fancy coming up here and fighting him away from home.
No, not with the crowd, not with the intimidating crowd that's here tonight.
Quinn was beaten on his debut by Mark J, but since then he's reeled off 11 straight wins, 6 inside the distance. But in that time, he's only scored 2 knockdowns. That suggests that he's possibly not the most concussive of punchers, although the accumulative effect has got the job done for him every time.
When he lets the punches go, and when he gets into his rhythm, when he lets them go, he really looks like a world-class fighter. His punching power, well, that's at this moment in time, you just can't judge that at this moment in time, because he hasn't got an awful lot of knockouts and he hasn't done a lot of damage, but that can come. That's the thing you can work on, and he certainly feels, when he lets the punches go, he certainly looks like a real top-class fighter. A bit of a cagey start by both fighters now. They're sort of warming to the occasion.
Well, he's not rushed in here. He's not let the atmosphere get to him. He's taken his time. He showed composure.
Just looking at Casey's face there, for a guy that's had so many fights, he's got a straight nose.
In support of this young man, Willie Quinn. I wonder how soon it might be before he gets himself onto the British title scene. He used to be what's euphemistically known as an exotic dancer. He's now rather more prosaically a printer. Friendly, outgoing character, and that has contributed to his popularity in these parts. Quinn in the tartan trunks. Right uppercut from Quinn. Just stepping up the tempo a little bit at the start of this second round, Dave.
Yes, well, this is what he's been taught by his corner, to up the tempo slightly and put a few more combinations together, because he's throwing punches and ones there, and you have to throw them on 3s and 4s in order to drive them home. He's not having any success with these one punches. You have to throw combinations. Let 4 and 5 and 6 go at a time, because if you hit this guy okay, you have to give Casey credit, because he's had 126 fights, 27 fights, and he's not that ring-worn, so you have to give him credit. He knows exactly when to get out.
He's only scored 4 inside schedule wins in those 127 as well. He's been in with some good men, though, like Ray Close, Neville Brown, Richie Woodall, Adrian Dodson, Gary Stretch, Sam Story, Cornelius Carr. Mixing in top class along the way as Seamus Casey.
It seems to be a very awkward style. Like, I think that Quinn here's having difficulty in weighing up this style. He's finding him a bit awkward.
Good right hand from Quinn. And that was another one too, and that hurt. Casey got him with the right hand, chopping little right. The count's at 4. Billy Rafferty, the referee, counting. Casey is up at 8. That was a good punch, and that's only the 3rd knockdown that Quinn has scored in his career, and he senses here that he might be able to send these fans home happy with a knockout when he sort of wrestled him into the ropes that time, which is why Billy Rafferty stepped in, and the bell comes not a moment too soon for Seamus Casey. Well, that was quite impressive, that, Dave.
That was a classic right-hander. That just hit him right on the button. I'm surprised that Casey got up there, because that was a really good right hand there, and you have to give the guy credit now. He's a seasoned professional. Look at that, just hit him right on the button. What's happening here is Quinn's trying now. He was trying too hard. When Casey got up, he was trying. He didn't take his time. He was trying too hard. That was a cracking right hand. Cracking, very good, right over the top. They don't come much better than that. Fair play to Casey for getting up.
Good last punch, wasn't it? There he is, the mine worker from Derbyshire. Look at that, 96 defeats. I mentioned he once fought with a broken ankle in Liverpool. He cut the plaster off, didn't tell his manager that the ankle was broken, got through the doctors, and on he went on with the fight as well. And I think he lasted the distance that night. Left hand got through as well. And Quinn here really starting to put his punches together. He looks distinctly useful, doesn't he?
But when he lets him go, Ian, he looks very classy. Like, he looks like world title material. But what he has to do it a wee bit more off and look and work for his openings. Sometimes he would jump in and his arms would be everywhere. Just wants to take his time, jab away and work the opening, and then let the big bombs go.
Seems to be a bit of a big lump on Casey's forehead, which is forming like a golf ball above his left eye. It looks really nasty. You can see that from here, really swelling up. And the towel's been thrown in by Casey's corner once they've seen that. Now this could well signify the end of the fight. They're pulling him out. They're pulling Casey out here because of this big bump. It's over. Quinn has won. Willie Quinn makes it 12 wins against 1 defeat. I think the fans who paid to see him wanted to see a bit more of him than that, but I think there was not much doubt, Dave McCauley, that he was on his way to victory. Now look at that, look at that.
That's something a golf ball, but when the towel was thrown in, Casey's seen that, and he actually nodded his head in agreement with the decision from his corner. The referee wasn't too keen, but the corner knew that Casey wasn't in a bit of trouble. But that is a nasty bruise there. It's like a growth coming out of his head.
Horrible, isn't it?
It's very sore looking. See tomorrow, that will cause some pain tomorrow.
Yeah, there's no sense at all in fighting on with that kind of injury.
Well, you could see he wasn't going to win. Now he was fighting against a brick wall there, so there was no point in taking undue or unnecessary punishment.
Let's see the official announcement from Alan Hughes.
And ladies and gentlemen, in 57 seconds of round 3, the corner have retired Seamus Casey. The winner, Willie the Mighty Quinn.
Well, I think you might be hearing a lot more of the Mighty Quinn, as they call him around here.
And ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation please, 128 contest, Seamus Casey.
And kindly, the MC not mentioning the 97 defeats.
Tonight once again belongs to your man, Willie the Mighty Quinn.
Well, they'll be very pleased with him again. Former Haddington Amateur Boxing Club youngster Quinn, Haddington in this locality. And I think we can, maybe in a moment, we're going to try and grab a word with Willie Quinn, who can tell us a little bit more about where he thinks he might be going. He's down there now with Gary Norman.
Not the ideal way to win, but win number 12 for Willie Quinn.
Yes, good win. Experienced guy, but I was a wee bit too strong for him there, even though I was lighter today than what I've ever been. I mean, I showed him who's a boss tonight.
Listen, I've seen fights all around the world, and I've never known an atmosphere like this. What do you feed him?
Brilliant. I mean, what can I say? I've got the best opponent in Scotland. Biggest ticket seller in Scotland.
This is well for another 20 wins on your record. Just the support that's behind you. It's fantastic.
Brilliant. I mean, they're just first class, man. Unbelievable. Brilliant.
You're at the stage of your career now, you should be thinking what you want to achieve. What would you like to achieve first? British title?
No, Tommy's got to try and sort something out with me for the WBO Pentacontinental, hopefully, beginning of next year, and just take it for there. I mean, I'm looking forward to... I'm still learning, but I'm improving every time. I mean, my trainer, Peter Arson's doing absolutely brilliant with me, and Tommy, my manager's first class. I mean, he gets all the great shows, puts me on all the big bills, and he's just brilliant.
Great for you to learn that in that way. Tommy, what do you see for this man over the next sort of 12 months?
Well, I mean, we've taken our time very carefully with Willie. I think he'll eventually go and he'll fight for the WBO Penta title probably in January. I think that once he starts to mature, I don't think about 2 years down the line before we really see Willie Quinn being the mighty Quinn. But I think with the help and the support that we get here, we're a long way along the road.
I think they'll be coming all round Scotland to see him. Listen, all the best.
Thank you.
I hope we see you again soon.
Yes, hopefully, I'll be back. Mighty Quinn will be back.
Be back in.
Thanks.
Well done at 13 now, ladies and gentlemen.
It's becoming quite a success story, isn't it? It's 12 wins in 13 now for this young man. You may not have heard about him before tonight, but who knows? This is perhaps a fighter who is going to be giving the best men in the division, even at world level, something to think about. Quinny's on his way. Hope very much you've enjoyed it. One or two things to wrap up before we close tonight. We'll be back from Musselburgh in a moment.